hopefully this is working. So I hope you can see the pretty mountains behind me. Okay, time for installment number 2. So, happy anniversary to me! Woohoo! It was actually 1 year ago today that I left my house. I sold it. I put everything in storage. I had the RV parked in front of my house for a couple nights and got everything moved aboard. And I decided to take my first road trip. Oops, there's my puppies. I decided to take my first road trip 1 hour away in Pahrump, Nevada. I figured that way if I couldn't get into too much trouble, right? Because I was only an hour away from everybody and everything I knew. And most importantly, my handyman and mechanic. Handyman / mechanic. So, my first stop was going to be a simple 3 miles away at Costco for gas. And literally it's 3 exits from my house. And I'd spent a lot of time getting ready, and I'm sure I'll do some other videos about the whole preparation, because I got my RV on July 4th weekend, and then here I am moving aboard for real October 18th. So, and there's a good lesson in this too. I have modified my behavior because of this story. So, I pull away from my house, I get on the freeway, and one of the things that is a recurring theme now is I like to drive in the slow lane, in the slowest lane. I generally stay around 55 or 60 miles an hour, both because I'm afraid and I get better gas mileage than if I was going faster. And by better, mind you, is like 8. I think on a good day I get 8 miles to the gallon in my Class C. Anyway, but what happens a lot when you do that is a lot of times that slow lane becomes a dedicated exit lane, right? You're going to get off the freeway, and so you got to get over. And people are so mean, and they don't understand or consider that you're driving this gigantic thing. And mind you, I only have a 26-foot Class C, but to me, it's gigantic. So I needed to get over because the lane was exiting the freeway, and no one would let me over. And this woman in particular came she sped up, and I thought, man, she's gonna force me to get off the freeway. And I have to tell you, I may have road rage in the sense of I yell at people from my car, but I have never flipped anybody off until I got in my RV. And so this was the first time, and I just flipped that lady off. Anyway, now it's just another exit or so to Costco, and I look over to the right, and there's no mirror. And I'm like, what? And if you don't have this experience, you're completely blind without your 2 side mirrors in an RV. And I can't see what's over on the right-hand side of me. I can't get over. So I'm like, that lady, she was a witch, and she must have hexed me or something. So I just put my clicker on, and I just moved over as slow, and I was just listening for a honk or something, and nothing happened. So I was able to get over. I got off the freeway. I went to Costco. I got the gas, because I was able to do all that by looking out this mirror, my driver's side mirror. And then I didn't know what to do, which is going to be a common reoccurring theme. And so I guess it must have been early morning, because there wasn't a lot of people at Costco. I don't remember the time of day. Anyway, so then I just pulled into the big old Costco parking lot. Like, I feel like I'm gonna cry because I'm reconnecting with how I felt, and I didn't know what to do. And so here's another thing to consider. So I bought an older rig. I have a 1996 Class C. And one of the things I don't know that I've ever heard anybody talk about, but when you have an older rig, it's not so easy to get parts. And that'll be part of this from July to October when I was fixing this thing up. That was a whole nightmare in itself. So actually the nightmare started before this day, but this was the first day aboard. And so I sat there with my phone and I was trying to research who manufactured the mirrors on my rig. And I was able to find them. And of course, they were back east. And so let me go back and say that when you have an older rig and you can't get parts, everything is like a scavenger hunt on eBay and, Google. You can't just go to your local RV store and pick up what you need. So, I couldn't find my mirrors in a RV store. Anyway, I found the company. They're called Valvac. And I was able to find a mirror. And of course, now I had to pay to overnight it because I can't go anywhere. I can't drive on the freeway. I certainly can't go an hour to Pahrump without my passenger side mirror. And so, God, I'm just reconnecting. I just really want to burst into tears because, this is going to be a hard year in review. I didn't realize. I mean, I can laugh about it, but apparently it's still really upsetting too. It was a really hard time. Anyway, getting myself together here. So now I couldn't go to Pahrump, and I was, I was petrified. I couldn't go home. I didn't have a home anymore. So I had met a few ladies and men. I mean, I met a few people at Thousand Trails, which a lot of you know. I did the video with Bob about Thousand Trails. So I have my Thousand Trails membership. And one of my friends was on her week out, and she was just down the street at another RV park. So I decided I thought I could drive surface streets and get over to her. And then that brings up another thing to consider when you have an older rig, which is there's a lot of discrimination out there. And if you have an older rig, sometimes RV parks won't let you come in. So, and that's another thing that's great about Thousand Trails is they don't make a big deal about the age of your rig. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, depending on who parks next to you. But anyway, and so I literally had to kind of plead my case and ask them to let me stay because they were one of the places that had I think it's a 12-year rule. And of course, I'm 22 years old. I'm a little over their limit. And I explained my friend was there and I needed to, my mirror came off and my handyman they were going to overnight it. And my handyman was going to come the next morning and fix it. And anyway, I got him to agree. And I got myself over there and I, pulled into my little site and waited for the next day to arrive and my mirror to arrive. And as will become a reoccurring theme, I will tell you what happened not even just hours later. I didn't even make it 24 hours until the next event. But anyway, this is how it's gonna go. So that is my episode for tonight. That is the first story. That's the first of quite a few hard months. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and comment and share with anybody who you think would enjoy following my tales. And again, just thank you so much for watching and stay tuned. More tomorrow. Bye.